Hello there, it's me, Mr. Cho. So, yeah, it's been a while. Let's talk about the last part of this chapter 5, which is the effects of alcohol consumption. Okay, learning outcome. Outline the effects of alcohol consumption on the brain, such as increased reaction time, reduced self-control, and the long-term effects of excessive consumption. For example, liver disease and brain damage and the social implications. Alright, so alcohol, what is that? Alcohol is a drink that has been made by humans since a long time ago, right? Even when people started to become farmers, right? They started to use the grain, they ferment it, and it became alcohol. And alcohol is usually drinked to relax, but excessive alcohol consumption can have harmful effects. It can cause damage to the digestive and nervous system and also have a significant impact on society, both good and bad. Okay, let's talk about the harmful effects on the digestive system. Firstly, alcohol stimulates acid secretion in the stomach. Excess stomach acid increases the risk of gastric ulcers. Okay, so why does that happen? It's because your stomach wants to digest it, but it can't. So your stomach is like, producing a lot of acid. Then also the liver, right? Prolonged alcohol abuse may lead to cirrhosis of the liver. Cirrhosis is a disease in which the liver cells are destroyed and replaced by fibrous tissue, making the liver less able to function. Patients with alcoholic cirrhosis may hemorrhage in the liver. This can lead to liver failure and subsequently death. So here we have a healthy liver, right? The liver, as we know, has many functions. One of which is detoxification. So if you make your liver work every day, day and night trying to detoxify the alcohol, eventually the liver becomes like this, right? It becomes very hard and there's a lot of like weird bumps and lines on it. Yeah, so this is not good, right? This is basically scar tissue. Just like if, for example, you have a big cut on your arm and you see that there's a scar, it's the same thing. This is like liver scarring. Why does this happen? It's because there's some fibrous tissue, which is like connective tissue, which is taking over the liver instead of the normal liver cells. Okay, so if this happens, right, then you get what you call as liver failure. Okay, and liver failure eventually is going to lead to death. Right, you can also get other things, for example, liver cancer. Right, so let's just search that up. Liver cancer. Liver cancer is when there are cells that are not behaving properly, right? They are growing uncontrollably and then in the liver, and this causes damage to the whole liver also. Okay, so what are the harmful effects of alcohol on the nervous system? Alcohol is a depressant. Okay, not depressant as it makes you sad, but depressant as in slowing things down, like you stop something. That's called depressant. Okay, so a depressant slows down brain functions and its effects can vary from one person to another, right? So some people, you drink a bit, you really start to feel very affected. Some people, they can drink a lot more and they don't feel so affected. But all in all, it is going to slow down the brain function in some way. So firstly, how does it affect the brain? There are actually 3 ways it affects the brain. Firstly, the person will have reduced self-control. So under the influence of alcohol, a person becomes carefree as alcohol takes away his self-control. With his self-control reduced, he may do things that he may regret after the effects of alcohol have worn off. Okay, so if you read the news, you often hear of stories of, maybe people, drink driving, and then like crashing their cars or getting into fights after they're drinking. Right? This is because of reduced self-control. I mean, of course, there are some benefits to this. I mean, like, let's be honest, right? There's some people want this reduced self-control. That's why they call alcohol as a liquid courage. But there are times where it's bad. Okay, so second thing, there's a effect on your reaction time. As the person drinks more alcohol, other observable effects of intoxication, such as slurred speech, occur. Blurred vision and poor muscular coordination makes him clumsy and unable to walk steadily. His judgment deteriorates and he tends to underestimate speed. If he drives, he may drive faster and with less caution, and his reaction becomes slower. Drunk drivers have a higher tendency to be involved in traffic accidents. So, that's why does it happen? Okay, basically, your brain is affected by the alcohol, and so different parts of the brain are affected differently, and basically you just become clumsy. So there's this test, right? The police test walk straight line. I can't remember what name is it. Like, let's say if the police catch you, driving in a weird way, then they ask you to walk on a straight line. And if you can't walk on a straight line, that may mean that you are drunk because you are not able to control your muscles properly. And another thing is that you are not able to estimate speed. So most of the time when you are familiar with driving, you're able to sense how fast a car is moving or how fast the cars around you are moving. But when you drink and you drive, you don't have that kind of judgment anymore because your sense of time and speed is a bit off. Okay, so the person drives faster, gets into accident. Okay, let's see drink driving in Singapore. Drink driving in Singapore. What's the penalty like for drink driving? Okay, $5,000 and imprisonment for up to 4 months. Second conviction, $10,000, 12 months imprisonment. Third conviction, 30,000, 3 years. Okay, how much can you drink before you drive? I'm actually curious. How much can you drink and drive Singapore? Okay, the law says 35 micrograms of alcohol per 100 milliliters of breath. Okay, or 80 milligrams of alcohol per 100 ml of blood. Okay, so let's see alcohol in blood graph. Okay, so alcohol is it takes some time to affect your body. So let's say you have one drink, all right, just like one glass. Usually it's not enough to make you drunk, right? Because it's just one glass. You just get a bit flushed, a bit red, and yeah, you may be influenced, but most likely you'll be alright. Okay, but from 2 or 3 drinks onward, that's why it calls impaired already. The yellow color means impaired. Red means legally intoxicated. That means that by law you can be charged and you can be arrested. Okay, so it depends on your body weight also. So if you are bigger size, right, it takes more alcohol to affect you. But if you are smaller size, then it takes less alcohol to affect you. And of course, it's also affected by time. Okay, so let's see this one. Alright, so in terms of time, the number of hours from the time that you drink the alcohol, there's usually a peak period. So like usually 1 or 2 hours after you drink alcohol, you're most affected. But give it 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, the alcohol will slowly start to go away because your liver will start to remove the alcohol from your body. Okay, so let's talk about the long-term effects of alcohol consumption on the brain. Heavy drinking of alcohol over a long period can have long-term effects on the brain. Figure shows the abnormal MRI scan of a chronic alcoholic. Okay, so you can see for yourself, there's some weird red thing here. You might be wondering what this is. This is a reduction in the brain size. You can start to see that there's weird lines and weird folds over here. So firstly, what is wet brain? It's a type of dementia caused by brain damage. Okay, the word dementia means you're not able to remember things easily, or you forget things easily rather. Okay, alcohol interferes with the absorption of vitamin B1 called thiamine in the small intestine. Vitamin B1 is part of an enzyme needed to break down sugar to release energy for brain activities, e.g. the conduction of brain impulses. So if you're constantly drinking, then you don't have enough vitamin, your body is not able to break down sugar, your brain actually needs a lot of sugar, right? So besides your muscles, your brain also uses most of the sugar that you eat on a day. And so if you cannot get enough sugar, it starts to contract and reduce in size, and that's bad. Okay, why? Because of a shrinkage of brain volume, the brain becomes smaller than normal, especially the region associated with memory and reasoning. Okay, so small brain syndrome. So that's, yeah, basically you become dumber. Okay, so lastly, heavy consumption of alcohol during pregnancy may interfere with the development of the fetus's brain, which may lead to lifelong physical, mental, and behavioral problems. Alright, so for pregnant women, alright, they should never drink because you never know how it may affect your baby, right? How it may affect the baby. And so, yeah, how does it work is because the baby is connected to the mother through the placenta. And whatever the mother eats, the baby also gets I mean, this is a simplification, but whatever the mother eats, the baby also receives. Okay, lastly, social implications of alcohol. When a person drinks alcohol frequently, he can become addicted to alcohol. He is unable to stop drinking until he is drunk. His body becomes dependent on alcohol and he becomes an alcoholic. Alcoholics may cause a lot of problems to society. They may neglect their work and families. They may exhibit violent behavior, especially towards family members. People under the influence of alcohol may tend to commit crimes. Okay, so yeah, why does this person keep drinking? Right, usually it's to escape from some problems that he may face, or he's just addicted. He just wants to find that high of the alcohol feeling, that drunkenness feeling, and yeah, then they start to become useless, and it's bad. Okay, so don't drink. There's one funny Thai advertisement I'll show you. Thai advertisement alcohol. Okay, why should you stop drinking?
กินเหล้ากินเหล้ากินเหล้าโดนเครียดกินเหล้าเครียดกินเหล้าก็เลยยิงมันก็เลิกสิเหล้าอ่ะเลิกเหล้าเลิกตนเริ่มต้นเข้าพรรษานี้รู้กินเหล้าเลิกเหล้าทำงานเก็บเงินทำงานเก็บเงินใช้หนี้ทำงานเก็บเงินได้เรียนมีกินช่วยเหลือผ่องใสมีรักอบอุ่นไม่ป่วยรวยปัญญาพัฒนาฉลาดชาติเจริญไปถึงไหนนะก็ไม่รู้แค่เลิกเหล้า
Okay, I always find that very funny. So yeah, basically, control yourself, right? A few drinks when you're older, right, is part of social life. You go to your wedding or something, that's okay, but not too much. Okay. So yeah, please answer these questions. What can happen when a person drinks too much alcohol? What impact does alcohol addiction have on society? Alright, let's run through the mind map for this chapter. Okay, the alimentary canal consists of the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Okay, function of the mouth: chews and breaks up food. Action: it also produces salivary amylase, which breaks down starch into maltose. The esophagus is a pipe where the food will move down to the stomach by peristalsis, and peristalsis happens throughout the entire from esophagus onwards. Then Peristalsis mixes the food with the gastric juice, and a protease is in the stomach which digests proteins into polypeptides. Then in the small intestine, which is basically your duodenum, the first part, and the ileum, the last part, there are intestinal glands which secrete intestinal juice, three enzymes here, protease, which breaks proteins down into polypeptides, then amino acids, and lipase, which breaks down fat into fatty acid and glycerol, maltase breaks down maltose into glucose, digested foods such as simple sugars, basically your glucose molecules, your amino acids, your fatty acids and glycerol, and water are absorbed by the villi of the small intestines. Right, this is mainly done at the ileum and some of course also in the duodenum. Then the large intestine, which is 3 parts: colon, water, rectum, storage, anus, expel. Right, the water and mineral salts are absorbed from the undigested food material. Feces are stored temporarily in the rectum. Feces ingested through the anus. Okay, there are 3 associated organs or accessory organs as I call them, and they are called the liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. The liver will secrete bile. Bile is stored in the gallbladder. Bile emulsifies fats, which means large fat droplets are emulsified into smaller fat droplets, increases the surface area to volume ratio for increased effectiveness of the lipase enzyme. Pancreas secretes pancreatic juice into the small intestine, which are 3 enzymes: protease, which breaks down proteins into polypeptides and amino acids; amylase, which breaks down starch into maltose; lipase, which breaks down fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, so as we were saying just now, all of the digested foods are absorbed in the small intestine. They are sent through this hepatic portal vein towards the liver, and from there the liver will do things to it. Right, the liver, where's the liver? Oh, not included in this summary, but yeah, the liver would either process the excess glucose and excess amino acids, or it will send the needed glucose and needed amino acids to the rest of the body. Okay, just remember to check that out over here. Okay, this one over here. Okay, and let's watch one last video before you end this lesson.
What happens if you are an alcohol and/or tobacco addict?
Alcohol is a powerful drug.
It contains ethanol, the most common type of alcohol that helps to reduce tension and inhibition in a person. It works by dilating small blood vessels near the skin, hence causing the person to become red, warm, and feel comfortable. Initially, the alcohol affects the brain's motor center, cerebellum, and the medulla oblongata, resulting in the person's poor coordination and balance, sluggish reflexes, change in behavior and loss of memory, slurring of speech, increased rate of heartbeat, and breathing. Large amounts of alcohol can even lead to coma or death. Long-term effects for the alcohol addicts include malnutrition and damage to heart muscles, stomach disorders like ulcers and gastritis. The liver is not able to detoxify blood or process nutrients due to liver cirrhosis. Other medicines interact negatively with alcohol, so any side medication can be harmful. Social and personal problems in life are likely to happen due to the addiction. If consumed during pregnancy, fetal abnormalities and miscarriages can occur, such as reduced physical and mental development, mental retardation, birth defects. Driving while intoxicated is illegal worldwide. Alcohol consumption slows reflex time and blurs the vision of the driver. This would then lead to an overall poor judgment of the driver, resulting in fatal road accidents. Tobacco. Tobacco smoking is habit-forming. The smoke drawn into leads to nicotine bronchitis, pains teeth, leads to social.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, with that we actually come to the end of the chapter. Alright, please take the time to watch the videos again if you are still not clear on anything, and do the worksheets. Alright, and do this worksheet. Okay, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace out. Bye.